saying there's not a handout for this class, and you're going to be a little surprised to hear that there's not any big like, here's this great way that this is all the tech you need. What this really is common sense that we all need. We all need to hear. We all need to keep our heads straight on tech because agents know, right? We want to be consistent, efficient, professional, competitive. And we know that tech can help us with that, but there's too many choices. There's too many brands in every choice, not only which tech do I need, but which brand of which tech do I need? There's constantly new options. There's a fear of choosing the wrong option. Am I using the right thing? If I am using the wrong thing, I'd stick with it because it's too hard to change. I've already invested in this wrong thing, or they start systems that they never fully adopt. Or they choose tools that later disappear and become obsolete. So you're like, man, I invested all that time into that tech stack and now it's not even in business anymore. It's just we're constantly trying to figure out. And what we end up with is inconsistency, wasted money, tech fatigue, half-built systems, rebuilding our systems repeatedly. And so what we want to, talk about is what tech to focus on. This is actually a less tech class, believe it or not. It's not a more tech class. These are the core tech that you want to, always do that to me, that you want to concentrate out. So, the way to choose tech or the things to know about tech is tech should either help you make money, help you save real time, right? Or help you improve your client experience. And frankly, if it doesn't do one of those, it's probably clutter. Right? So I remember having a conversation with Chip not that long ago. Chip, I don't remember, it was some new tech Remax I put out. I said, Chip, don't worry about that. You don't need it, you won't use it, and it won't make you faster. Let's work on Dotloop. You need it, right? You'll use it, and it will help you work faster. It will, all of those things Dotloop does. Agreed? All three of those things that it is essential. It is essential tech, or some transaction management system is essential. Okay, so here's your tech stack, right? These are the things that make money, right? A CRM, if used, and so many of us have access to a CRM, but we don't use it. And it is hard to learn a CRM, and it's hard to have the perfect CRM. And I think one of the reasons we don't use our CRM is because the CRM tells us a million ways we could use it, and none of that really fits our business plan. And what we should be doing is saying, here are the few things I want my CRM to do. And if we were going to brainstorm right now, what are the few things you'd want your CRM to do?
Remind you to call,
remind you to keep in touch,
Store your information for your client.
store all the information,
the properties.
yeah, right? What they were, what they did, all their contact information, their kids' names, right? It should be
Days reminder.
all of it, right? Data storage, all their data storage, notes, updates, at least a birthday reminder, at best, a constant contact reminder. And that's it. And it's the same thing with the CRM. It can do this, it can do that. I don't care. The biggest part of managing your text is paring it down, not building it up. What separately in November, I made my business plan. What in my business plan did I say I was going to do? How can this tech accomplish those things? And frankly, a CRM cannot do it alone. You need a calendar. So I'm going to go from CRM to calendar. Jimmy, this does not apply to you. I was going to say, men, use a damn calendar. Oh my gosh. Many men in my life Do not use a calendar. I don't understand that, Jimmy. I know you do. And every phone has a Google Calendar on it. And Google Calendars cross sync with every app. So between a CRM and a calendar, you've got your contact management system right there. But they both have to be used. How many people here use something besides a Google Calendar? Okay, how many people here use a Google Calendar? Good. And you know that you can create several different calendars and give them different colors and display them all and display them everywhere. You can have it on your phone and your desktop and your iPad and your everything. It does link with Bold Trail. It links with pretty much everything you use. Okay, so CRM, obviously MLS Mastery and MLS Alerts. That fits that criteria. Helps you make money, saves you real time, helps you improve the client experience. Now, we know that you can send alerts through Bold Trail as well. And the upside of sending an alert through Bold Trail is that they go to your website rather than just the MLS and someone else's listing. But listing alerts and a mastery of your MLS are tech that meet all of those things. Obviously, email and text systems. And even better if your email and text system coordinates with your CRM and your calendar. Yes.
CRM.
I'm sorry. I always forget what the actual, it's contact management software. So it's Top Producer, it's Bold Trail,
Thank you.
it's one of those, right? And I always forget what the actual C and R and M stand for, but something about contacts.
Customer resource management.
Thank you. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Transaction management, that's your dotloop. Okay. Do all of you know that in dotloop, there are preset task lists that you can attach to all your pendings that is a to-do list that you can attach to your pending. So if you have a pending in dotloop, you can go within that loop, go down to the bottom where it says tasks, add a task list, and all the tasks to do a pending will pull up. And you can just mark that done as you go for transaction management. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, okay. Let me know if you want me to show you that. Did you know that, Jimmy?
Yes.
Yes, I thought you did. I know you know it. Okay. And AI for content and drafting. Yes, learn AI. Don't feel like everything you do has to be done by AI. It doesn't. You don't need AI for a lot of stuff. AI is essential in saving you time, giving a better experience, making you money when it comes to creating content and drafting emails, drafting letters, etc. AI can also be invaluable in inbox management, right? AI can read all your emails, give you a summary of which ones you need to worry about and which ones you don't, help you clean things out in the morning. That's a little bit more of an advanced use of it. The problem with any of these things that you add to your tech stack is you have to slow down to learn something so you can speed back up. So yes, that could save you tons of time, but it's a learning curve to get there. This is enough for most agents. This is what you need. So today isn't about, hey, add all this great tech. Today is asking yourself, do I truly have all these things in place? Do I truly have them coordinated to the best that I can? And am I truly using them to do the things that they can do for me? When the training for hiring a assistant is write down every single thing you do for 2 weeks, and then you review everything you did and ask yourself, what of this was licensed work and what of this was clerical work? It could be the same thing for this. I'm going to write down everything I do for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to review it and ask myself, what of these things did I do that I should have been having tech do? What am I tracking? What am I writing? What am I sending? Whatever that I could be using tech if, right? If it helps me make money, helps me save real time. And for us, that's a big one. Right? We are busy. And anything we can do to save time and help improve your client experience. What gets overvalued? Sorry, Lacey, I'm gonna move you just a little bit. Maybe down there. I'm not really moving Lacey. Fancy websites no one visits. Every franchise gives every agent their own website. You have your own website. People aren't gonna go to it. If someone goes to it, you want it to be ready. So you should review your website. You should make sure it looks the way you want it to. You should have things on it, you should make sure the search is up. But do not pay for a fancy website. When somebody calls you and says, we can maximize your website and get you more leads and blah, blah. No, right? You're better off paying for search optimization to get people there than to worry about spending money on the website itself. Okay? Expensive lead platforms with no discipline. Imagine if you were paying for Bold Trail and not using it at all for lead generation. Luckily for you, we get it free, but very few of us are actually using it for lead generation. And just a reminder, the way to use it for lead generation is you put out squeeze pages. Remember when we did the class on squeeze pages? You create a page that says, are you interested in this? Click here, and then you get leads. You post those squeeze pages out on social, people click on your squeeze pages, they end up back on your Bold Trail, that becomes your lead, you follow up with the lead. That is lead generation. Part of the reason we underutilize our CRM as far as lead generation goes is because we don't preach that kind of lead generation here. We preach friends, family, sphere, etc. But until you have a database big enough to feed your business as much as you want it fed, you have to add people to your database. And one way to add people to your database is through lead generation. But knowing how underutilized our lead generation systems are, don't go paying for one, right? Same thing with Zillow. We have agents who pay for Zillow leads. We have agents who pay for Google leads. That's great if you need to add leads to your system. But if you're not turning those leads into repeat and referral clients, you are killing yourself. And if you talk to a Michigan top producer agent who's been doing it long enough, yes, they love that they don't have to get any leads, that all the leads are not top producers leads, are Zillow leads that Michigan top producers pay for. But the referral fees are so big that they're never getting off that hamster wheel. They're just, yes, my leads come to me, but I'm paying so much in referral fees and I'm never building a business that doesn't, they're always relying on more Zillow leads to come from. So paying for leads is fine, but you better be using your CRM to turn them into repeat and referral. Complex automations that are never maintained. That's the other thing. It's a lot of this is you don't use it. If you're going to look at something, you have to ask yourself, will I use this consistently? Social media tools without a strategy, right? Do you want to boost your posts? Sure, I'll boost this one. Why not? You have to have a strategy. If you have a strategy, you know when to pay and when not to pay. But to just, invest in social media when you don't have a branding strategy or what is my, what am I looking for with this, then that is not a good use of the tool. CRM features that no one uses. And, I did that twice. Hold on, I bet you anything that's supposed to be two other things. Sorry. Oh, frankly, endless branding tools. Sorry, pay no attention to the slide. Remax can be kind of bad about that too, right? Then they have Photify and they've got Marketplace and they've got marketing as a service and then all these different ways to Remax branding. Too many ways it's confusing to me and it's my job to keep on top of it. For me, Canva. And so now it's a bonus. I am using Canva. I am using it consistently. And now Remax is offering us, you have to pay for it, but offering us a paid Canva system with all the Remax branding that I'm gonna use. That makes sense to me. This design center and marketing as a service and all these other things, it's almost too much opportunity to brand. Right? Give me the brand in one spot in somewhere I'm gonna use consistently. And I know that's why they're doing Canva. Is because they know that that's where their agents really are. What they're really using. Oh, sorry, let me make sure if I missed anything else. Nope, okay. So then, of course, what is the hidden cost of monthly tech, right? Well, of tech, bad tech. Obviously, monthly subscriptions, if you're paying for, as an example, Top Producer, and you're not really using it, then you're paying $50 a month for a CRM that you're not making the most of, or you're not making it worth it. Mental clutter, decision fatigue, constant switching, right? Feeling like you're behind, and frankly, the real cost is attention. I'm trying to do all these things instead of doing the core things that I need. So, how to evaluate a tool? Will this make money? Will I actually use it at least weekly? Does it replace something else? And the best part is, does it replace something I'm doing manually? Is it faster? Is there a free or simple version first? That's the other thing. A lot of us jump into the, oh, I'm gonna, do the free. If you don't already use Canva, do the free Canva before you pay for the Remax Canva. And frankly, I'm gonna pay for the Remax Canva. So if you want to try out the Remax Canva first, try out mine, but see if there's a free or simpler version first. Does it integrate with my other tools? So again, your calendar. If you are not syncing your Google Calendar, now I'm going to warn you, be a little careful about syncing your Google Calendar to BoldTrail. Come to me and I'll help you remember how to do this. And I might even have to get a hold of tech. What you don't want is to link your calendar to BoldTrail and then suddenly every contact in your Google account starts getting stuff from BoldTrail. That's what agents don't love about BoldTrail in the first place, is I don't want weird random messages going out to my clients. So I think it is important to link the two, but you can link the two without having that happen, without turning on those automations. And it's been a minute since I've had to do it. So, and then, is the platform stable? Will this still matter in 12 months? And I'm going to tell you, with the news that we just got on Monday, what they're telling us is great about Real is their tech and an end-to-end system. So at this point, I don't know that I'd invest a whole lot in learning a whole lot of BoldTrail, or other than what you need it for, because there's a very good chance that something better is coming anyway. It sounds like they also have their own alternative to Dotloop, which wouldn't hurt my feelings, since Zillow owns ShowingTime and Dotloop. So I'm not going to say don't learn Dotloop. Learn Dotloop, you need it every day. But I would not invest a whole lot right now into extra things or anything through BoldTrail until we find out what our tech is going to do. On the other hand, everything I learned when I used to use Top Producer made me able to very quickly learn BoldTrail. So learning a CRM just makes you good at CRMs, and the next CRM is easier because you know how to use a CRM. Again, what is AI great for? Writing emails, social captions, listing descriptions, brainstorming, SOP, creation, right? Search order priority, right? So not just writing captions, but saying to your AI, write this caption in a way that uses keywords that will increase my search engine optimization, search engine SEO, SOP. Have to know what SEO is. What's SOP? Sorry. Oh, totally different thing. Sorry about that. Standard operating procedure creation. That's another thing, right? When I want to create, I've done my annual planning. I've decided I want to start focusing on farming, and AI is a great way to say, okay, help me choose the neighborhood that's good for farming. And does anybody not know what farming is when it comes to reach? It's okay if you don't. Okay. Farming is a geographic search rather than I'm gonna focus on first-time home buyers, I'm gonna focus on retired people. I'm gonna focus on people in this geographic area. I'm gonna farm for clients on Duck Lake, right? So that's geographic farming. And there are rules about geographic farming. You don't pick a farm that's already owned by someone else. You could, and as you get more experienced and better, knock them out, great. But if you're a newer agent looking to increase your database, you're setting yourself up for a little bit of heartbreak if you choose to geographically farm an area that's owned by another agent. But there are all kinds of areas that are not owned, right, by other agents. It has to be an area with a certain amount of turnover, right? Again, doesn't make any sense to do this neighborhood that nobody ever sells, and there's 300 houses and one sell a year. That's not what you're looking for. So you want something with good turnover in a price range that's right for you, etc. Well, AI can help you do that. Can help you decide, how do I set up a geographic farm? Which area should I choose? How often should I get a hold of them? What are the demographics in this area and what are they looking for, etc. AI is great for that, setting up how you're going to do things. What AI cannot and should not do, right, is replace your judgment. Definitely not replace relationships. I heard a really interesting story. This is not real estate related, but it's very much AI related. AI encourages you. AI doesn't negate you. So people going on Reddit and asking for relationship advice will get advice all across the board. Should I break up with her? You should give her another chance. You should dump her, right? They get the whole thing. AI just goes the flow you want to go. Should I break up with her? Yeah, you probably should, right? AI does not tell you when it thinks it doesn't think, right? You're telling AI what to do. It's doing what you told it to do. AI will not negate you. I even said to my AI after reading that or hearing that, from now on, whenever I ask you to help me with something, I want you to assume I'm wrong somewhere and tell me what I'm missing and where I might be wrong. It has not corrected me yet. And because those of you who use AI, it says, great thinking. That's a terrific idea. It encourages you the whole time. So AI does not give you a two-sided argument. So be very careful that it doesn't replace your judgment, doesn't replace your relationships or your decisions, doesn't replace negotiation, because again, it's not being critical. It is not a critical thinker. It amalgamates data and tells you what it saw. Obviously does not replace trust or a work ethic, right? Okay. Don't choose shiny objects. If you're ever planning on investing in tech, please come to me first. It's happened twice since I've been a broker that I've had an agent come to me and say, I bought a website. And I do my best to make sure you understand when you're at Remax, you have your own website, your own domain. And if you don't know what it is, it's yourname.remaxparrot.com. You have your own website. And they come, I got a website. What do you mean? Well, this company called and they said they can set up my own website. They can da-da-da-da. And it's only this much money, and it's a lot of money, you know, and you've already, yep, right? So if you're thinking of investing in tech, come to me first and just make sure it's not something you already get for free, you know, through Remax, or that there's not a different alternative. Don't overbuy software. Don't confuse branding with production. And that's very important too. There are realtors who are online influencers, for sure. They are definitely influencers. If being an influencer is bringing them business, great. If it's not, then they're just influencers. So there's an agent out of Utah, maybe? I can't remember where she's from. She's very fun to watch. She's very snarky. She's also very political. And probably gets a whole lot of business from one side of the aisle and probably gets none from the other. And I'm a little political, but I hope nobody on social media will ever know that. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say I'm a little political. I have opinions. We all have opinions. But I'm being very, very careful to keep my opinions to myself, because not only my own business, but I represent you guys and can't hurt your business, right? I don't know that what she's doing is necessarily, but she's becoming kind of famous. So good, Quintavious Burdett. Quintavious Burdett is a Remax agent. I think he still is a Remax agent. I don't know when's the last time he's focused on selling real estate, because he's been on 2 seasons of Survivor now. And, you know, is a social media influencer and has been on TV and is, you know, very well known. I'm not sure how much real estate business that's getting him at this time. So don't confuse branding with production, and build a simple stack and use it well. And frankly, if you're not a person who keeps a calendar, that's the first one. That is so easy. It's on your phone. So it is amazing to me. My husband, for one, who said to me this morning, could you call me and remind me about my doctor's appointment? No, I will not. Grown man. So, okay. Well, good. I didn't talk shit about other agents, just about my husband. That was pretty quick. I knew it would be. I think that we all kind of thought, oh, we're going to hear about, you know, it, and it isn't. It's the opposite, because there's a very simple tech stack, and that we all have. But if I review this, I'm not using it all correctly. I'm not using it all to its best, right? I've had Morgan say to me, I just did it on chat. I thought, yes, I use chat a lot, and still, you know, don't use it at times when it really could save me time. I'm not using my CRM to, a matter of fact, right now, I'm in the process of building, they call it activity plans in Top Producer. I can't remember what are they called in Bold Trail, where you can set somebody up to receive all these things. What is it called in Bold Trail? Anybody know? Anyway, I'm setting up one for recruiting, right? Same as you guys have one for keeping in touch. I'm setting up one for recruiting, because I have a recruiting plan, but it's more like a list, and I'm not staying up to date with it as I need to be. So if I can put it into my CRM, and my CRM says, send this person the Buffini book, invite this person to the next class, call this person and see how they're doing, whatever, then I'm more consistently, and that's the 2 things. Not just, I really should say, not just making you money, saving you time, better client service, but consistency. I'm going to be doing a blog post soon on, you know, really, if you look at realtor success, if you tried to boil it down to one word, in the end, it's the consistent agent that wins eventually. It is. If you could, oh, I mean, there's a million words we could use. But in the end, if there's one that you had to boil it down to, it would be consistency. So if these tools, same thing with setting somebody up on a search. I've had people tell me, well, I like to see the house first. I like to be the one to call them with it. Okay, but that's not consistent. If you're at a listing appointment and the perfect listing for that person comes out and you're letting it email you first because you want to see it first and you want to be the one to call the client, they're going to get it from somewhere. You're not consistently providing superior service. Let that tool provide that consistency to that client. Not missing appointments because they weren't in your calendar. That is inconsistency. So, any comments, any questions, any ahas, any thoughts? Next steps? Where does anybody feel like maybe you need to bone up?
I think squeeze pages. I've done one since we did the last class. Linking Bold Trail with my calendar. I didn't know I could do that, but should we even do that with something new eventually coming out?
Yes, because first of all, we don't know when eventually is. And second of all, anything that you have done, then you know how to translate that into something new, right? Kelly, you don't know this. Alicia, you don't know this. Carter, you don't know this, but RE/MAX originally bought out this company called Booge, and Booge was a CRM company, and RE/MAX didn't just say we're going to get Booge, they bought them, and Booge became a RE/MAX company. And Ashley, because we're a region owned, we're owned by a region, we're not directly corporate owned. Ashley Dane from the region said, I am not in love with Booge. I see where it could go, but it's not there. We're not adopting it. Like, okay. Well, of course, RE/MAX is like, Booge, and it's Booge. And we're like, oh, we don't have it yet. Ashley says it's not good enough, Sure enough, what, a year, 2 years later, RE/MAX says, yeah, Booge didn't work. We're switching to kvCORE, which kvCORE and Bold Trail are the same thing as they just changed their name. And we were insulated from the whole, which now is seen as the Booge debacle, At the time, it was like, you guys don't have Booge yet? No, she was right. Good thing we never switched to Booze. We didn't Booze. Probably did switch to Booze, but I'm feeling the same way about the real tools. I don't know how many have told you this, but Mike Messner and Ashley Dane did a webinar for me on Tuesday, and Morgan was there too, to kind of talk about what they expect and everything. Ashley went to a conference 2 or 3 years ago where the top tech guy at Real was speaking. And she said, when I saw the news, because I want to make sure you guys understand, nobody could know this news before. We're a publicly traded company. You can't tell your inside people something that big. It's illegal, right? Because then we could do insider trading and so they can't. So it's not like, I can't believe they didn't tell us. They couldn't tell us. They couldn't even tell Region. Region didn't know. I would imagine only a very, very small handful of people knew. Basically, RE/MAX's board and a couple other people. Anyway, when she heard the news, she went back to her notes from that seminar and to see what she had thought of their tech. And she literally wrote the note to herself, all these things that they're doing, RE/MAX needs to do. She said, so actually, I'm very excited about their tech. But I also know that we're not getting that tech until she knows what it is, right? And she knows how we can use it. And somebody who works at Real, who knows Lisa Downey, she's from another state, said, take all the classes, learn everything you can about the tech. It is really good. And I said, Lisa, I'll teach you the tech, right? Ashley's going to make sure she knows it. I'm going to make sure I know it through and through. You're not going to have to implement it or learn it on your own. And we're only going to ask you to implement it and learn it on your own if it's better than what you've got. So Anything else? No? Okay. I think the next steps for this is look at the text app, right? Sorry, I'll go back to it. CRM, calendar, MLS, email and text, transaction management, Canva or a simple design tool, AI, cloud storage, that was the other one, cloud storage. Look at those things, ask yourself, am I as integrated as I can be? Am I as automated as I can be? Am I using it, the way that I need to use it? And then don't worry about the things you're not doing. Right? Is a electronic room measurer cool? Yes. Do you need it? No. If you're getting professional photos, they're giving you room measurements. You don't need it. Right? It's an example of tech it's cool. You don't need it.
Okay, but I don't remember what it's called, Kubicasa.
Kubicasa.
And I do my own room measurements and it's free.
Yep. And Kubicasa is worth it. And the reason you do that is to get them sooner so you don't have to wait for their.
I get them sooner, but also I can do them, like, for example, I had some clients who were from out of state buying a house to move to Michigan. And she was like, well, can you take some room sizes for me? I was like, oh yeah, I could spend 15 minutes measuring each room, or I could spend 5 minutes doing a video walkthrough with Kubicasa, and the next day I sent her a full floor plan of all 3 floors, free.
Yeah.
I have that app, but I haven't used it yet.
It is amazingly simple and amazingly works. Like you think, if you went into that little room in there where there's so much stuff in there, it still would measure that.
The house that I did for her, I didn't realize it was a master, even though it's like the 5th time I've seen it. I just did all the bedrooms. And then I was like, that one had a bathroom, I thought, and I went upstairs and it did. And so I went back and it let me go back to that room of my video, start it again and get the bathroom. And I thought, hopefully
I'll get what I get. Yeah.
It was perfect.
And like she said, it's
Or
free.
to do your own house.
Yeah.
Or like, why wouldn't you have it if it's free?
Yeah.
But I've had where Nextdoor Photos forgot to do it. And so they have to go back that day and then it's another 24 hours or I'll do it when I place the sign. Or I'll go when they take photos and do it quickly before they and I have it before I get my photo.
How long does it take Kubicasa
They
to
say
process
24 hours, but I've gotten it. I get it in less usually.
Yeah.
Or you can pay $3 to get it in 6 hours.
Chip, we're done.
This is time.
Yeah.
Good planned it.
It's him. Yeah. Any other tech that anybody wants to share that they feel is worth it and is making things faster and easier and any tech that anybody needs more training on, and specifically because this is the last class of this last training calendar. I have to create the new calendar and I've got some ideas of things people have asked about, but is there anything specific you would like training on?
Can you do a new Canva one?
Yep,
Especially with the new Remax?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm probably buying that today, so should have it by today. Yes, I will do another Canva one. Anything else?
Are you gonna, the linking with Bold Trail, is that something we should just come to you individually for?
The linking your Gmail, yes,
Yeah.
come to me individually because we might even need to use support chat on that.
And didn't you say something about instead of using the MLS to notify of what's available, going through Bold Trail to do it?
Yes, you can set up a client search in their record, just like you
Okay.
can in MLS.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if you're in Bold Trail and you're in that person's record over on the right, there's market report, but there's search, and you can set them up for a search there as well.
Okay.
What does it pull from the MLS
Mhm.
anyway?
Yes.
Is it easier to do than Flex?
I don't know if it's easier to do. The reason I like it is then the person's clicking through to your website and everything's branded to you. Where if you send them to listings in the MLS, they're getting the MLS listings, right? They're getting where it says call Brad it, or whatever. Where here, they're on your, if it's, contact me, it contacts you. Because they're in your website.
But I'm probably the only one that has to re-sign in every time on Bold Trail.
That is frustrating.
You're not the only
You're
one.
not the only one.
Okay,
I
just asking.
I hate it
I
too.
thought I was.
I'm like, dude.
And it says, remember me? And I go, yeah,
Yeah,
and it doesn't.
no, and I don't like it either. Very much hoping that goes away soon. I mean, I get it. You have to be secure. That is too secure, right? Remember my computer, for God's sakes. No, I agree completely. And Chip, that's one of the things we talked about. If doing a search in Bold Trail makes you slower, don't do it. Do it in Flex. Flex does a perfectly good search. Right? To me, that's more of a choice, but your tech stack should make you faster, not slower. So now, on the other hand, it is worth it to spend 3 days learning something if it makes you fast. I have figured out how to do something and it took me 3 hours how to figure out to do it, but then every time after that, it took me 2 seconds. That is worth it. But for you, Chip, I'd say just keep your searches on Flex. That's
Yeah, but
perfectly fine.
Are you doing anything on AI?
Yeah, anybody who wants to go can go. I'll back up a little bit and talk to you about that. Remember how to do that. The thing about AI, Chip,
Can you stop by my office?
I will.
And when you're done, can
Okay,
you help me with the short sale thing?
Kelly, Jenny. Okay, sure. Have you?
Cause I had a couple times on my computer, not to it. And ever since, whatever I did or whatever I had has never worked since, and I can't get it back to that. But I was talking.
So you had like Copilot or Gemini running
I
probably?
don't know.
Yeah.
But it was nice, and I thought I was getting the hang of it, and then I don't know what happened.
I need a little bit more information for that.
I don't.
Let me get
I don't
out
know
of
what to
here.
ask. It,
Well,
what